Good morning YouTube, it's Dave here, back out on Dartmoor again for another adventure. And in today's adventure we're going to be looking at a 13th century church and a hill where they used to hang the bodies of criminals who were convicted of the worst crimes in England. So it's got a bit of a medieval theme to it, this one. It's a bit wet this morning, but it's not really raining at the moment. I'm kind of just walking through mist, and I think it's going to burn away as the morning goes on. Look at these spider webs. All the morning dew on them. There's also a lot of animal crap on the ground, so it doesn't smell very nice here. But we're about to get a lovely view out that way. The sun rising. It's a nice early start this morning. It's not even 6:30 yet. And when we get up here a little bit, we should be able to see out over that hedge there. Now, there you go. You can see a little bit of it now opening up. Like I say, it's quite hazy this morning, quite a bit of mist, but I'm hoping it's all going to burn away. And we're heading up there for our first stop. This is Brent Tor, and that is Brent Tor Church. It looks stunning up there, it really does. It's one of the most iconic silhouettes on Dartmoor, the church on top of the Tor. I'll tell you more about it when we get up to the top. It's only a short climb, but it is quite steep, especially first thing in the morning. Oh, there's a fox. Hope you caught it on camera. It scared all the cows. Hope you caught it on camera. It scared all the cows as it ran through. These are the ones that are responsible for all those smelly poos I've been walking past, like that. Ugh. It's you lot. Here we go. Making our way up the steps now, up to Brent Tor Church itself. And what an amazing place for a church, by the way. Close the door, close the gate behind me. Oh, there's nothing for it to latch onto anyway. I won't worry about closing the gate behind me. Here we are. And like I say, all that mist hopefully is going to burn away. We're going to get some lovely views before we leave here, head on to the next destination. Wow. And here's the views out this way. Look at that, that's where the car's parked, just down there where I started the video. And like I say, it's quite misty at the moment. I'm hoping this will all burn off. It is stunning up here. You can just see some of the land poking out of the clouds over there in the distance. Quite an eerie feeling to it up here. Very Hound of the Baskervilles-esque with all this mist. Very Dartmoor, that's for sure. There's the church. Yeah, built in the 13th century. So that's the 1200s. This was built. That's what, 500 years before America was formed. Or the United States of America, I should say. think America was already there, just wasn't called that. Oh, here we go, a lot more cows. Hello. I didn't realise there was a whole herd of cows up here. It's the dawn chorus of cows. There's a story behind the location. Apparently the local villagers who were trying to build the church, they tried to build it at the bottom of the Tor, but during the night, to basically hinder construction, the devil would bring all the bricks up to the top of the Tor to stop them from being able to build it down there where they wanted to. So basically, to stick it to the devil, the villagers decided, all right then, we'll build it up the top. And what a beautiful location for it. One of the unusual facts about Brent Tor compared to the other Tors on Dartmoor is that it's a unique example of a Tor made of basaltic lava as opposed to granite, which means that essentially this is an extinct volcano. And the church's 40-foot tall tower there, and of course its position on top of Brent Tor, makes it visible from large parts of the national park and from the surrounding countryside as well, actually. Which means this is quite a landmark in this part of the moor anyway. I think the mist is slowly starting to burn off. Gonna hang around for a bit, I think. I'm in no rush this morning, like I say, it's very early. I've got no plans for the rest of the day either, so I'm gonna hang around and hopefully the mist will clear and we'll get some nice shots of the church with the sun coming up. Just like I said, the mist is starting to burn off now, and look at this. Wow. It's pretty special being up here for this. Still very misty off in this direction. Hasn't cleared on this side of the Tor yet, but yeah, over here, sun's rays starting to hit it. It's just all starting to burn away. Just look at this now. It's the hills of Dartmoor just coming into view there under the mist. It is gorgeous up here. I wish the camera did this justice. And that over there, right in the middle, that's where we're going next. Right on top of that hill there, camera's struggling to focus through the mist, but that's where we're going next. That's Gibbet Hill. Sun's just shining down out of the clouds, burning away that ground mist in the morning, shining down on the fields on the edges of Dartmoor. Stunning, absolutely stunning. That cloud's pretty much completely burnt away all the low-lying mist, and now we've got views like these stretching out in front of us. We'll do a lap of the church. Should we do a lap of the church? Let's do it. Now that we've got some views to look at. It really is amazing. So you've got South Devon off in that direction. That's Dartmoor over there. You've still got a bit of mist over in that direction, but over there it's all starting to clear. You can actually see a few of the Tors. I think I can see Pew Tor from here. Pretty sure that's Cox Tor that's still got the mist around the summit. And then out this way, that's where I've parked the car, just down there where those trees are. Very short walk to get up here. And look at this. I'm very glad I stayed for a little bit longer and waited to see if the mist would burn off, because it was absolutely worth it. This is an amazing view. Now all that mist is starting to clear, views are starting to open up. You can see Gibbet Hill, where we'll be climbing later. Just over there, I think you can see the trig point on the summit there. There might actually be a person, I'm not sure. And then over this way, you can see just poking out through the mist, it's still very misty up on the high moor. But you can see right over here, just down off of the side of that high moor, that's Sawton Tors, where we went, what, about 3 weeks ago now? It's a beautiful part of the moor over there as well. Corn Ridge is still shrouded in mist up there, and somewhere over here is going to be Great Links Tor, but the mist is still covering that at the moment. Then over this way you've got Cox Tor, the summit still shrouded in the clouds, and just poking out beneath the clouds over here, if the camera will focus on it, that's Pew Tor. Yeah, it's so worth it to spend a bit of time here and just wait for the sun to rise and burn off some of that mist, because these views are incredible. Well, what a beautiful spot, as long as you don't mind heights, because it's a bit of a drop off the side. This is incredible up here. Perfect place to spend the morning. What glorious morning it's turned out to be as well. I wish I could stay up here all day, to be honest, but I can't. I've got another 6 miles of hiking to do and the rest of the video to film for you guys. But if you're in the area, definitely check out Brent Tor and the Church of St Michael de Rupe. St Michael de Rupe, by the way, means St Michael of the Rock, which is a very apt name, I think. And yeah, this is all basaltic lava that it's built on, so It's not granite like most of the other Tors, like pretty much all of the other Tors. So that kind of makes Brent Tor unique in itself. And then in the 13th century they went and built a church on it, which is amazing. The tower isn't 13th century, the tower's a 15th century tower, so that's a later addition that they've put on. But the original church would have been built in the 1200s, and yeah, the tower built in the 1400s. But it's still amazing to think of the history that we have in this country, and the fact that you can just go for a short walk and see things like that. It's amazing. Look at the mist rolling off the hills of Dartmoor there. That's Corn Ridge and Great Links Tor over in that direction where all that mist is. We can't see them at the moment, you can just see Sword and Tors off the side. And Gibbet Hill over there where we're going next. Yeah, what a beautiful morning it's turned out to be. Didn't look like it was going to be this way at first, did it? Very misty. It was raining a bit when I got out of the car. Was a little bit worried that I wasn't going to be able to bring you these amazing views, but very glad that it's brightened up a bit, or brightened up a lot, and yeah, I can bring all these amazing views to you, because I've been up here before, not for a very long time actually, probably about 2 years I'd say, so it's been a while. Just carefully picking my way down the side of the Tor at the moment, but yeah, it's been a while since I was last up there, and it's no less beautiful now, I have to say. Well, sadly I've left Brent Tor and the Church of St Michael de Rupe behind. Wish I could have stayed there all morning. I did stay up there for about an hour or so, so I spent plenty of time up there. But we're on the road now, heading over towards Gibbet Hill. Well, we're not actually, we're heading towards Tavistock at the moment. We've got to turn left up here and head out towards Gibbet Hill. There's going to be quite a bit of road walking on the way up to Gibbet Hill, so you might not see too much of it because, well, I mean, it's a little bit boring, isn't it, compared to what we're used to seeing. Yeah, what do I talk about here? Hedges, cows. Not that much to talk about, really. So you probably won't see too much until we get a bit closer to Gibbet Hill. Unless there's some nice views, of course, or something interesting to talk about, or cars to dodge. So yeah, I'll probably see you a little bit later. So I'm following a trail at the moment, which the map says is a public footpath, but I've got to be honest, it does kind of just feel like a farmer's field that's directly underneath Brent Tor. So if it is a footpath, happy days. It's not very well marked. If it's not a footpath, then sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Farmer. But I've got to where I need to be, which is this road, so it's kind of got me there. I'm going to trust that it was a footpath and that I haven't done anything naughty here, I think. Yeah, look, happy days. A sign on this side that says public bridleway. There wasn't one on the other side. This is a very typical Devonshire country road. if something does come along here, there's nowhere for me to go, and there's probably not room for it to get past. So let's hope it's nice and quiet this early on a Sunday morning. It's still only just I think, well, it's about 7:30 now, just gone 7:30, so it's still relatively early. I started the walk just before 6:30, I think about 15:15, but like I said, I spent about an hour just sitting around at the top of Brent Tor, taking in the views of the church and the surrounding countryside, because it was just so beautiful. So I'm wearing my probably very questionable go outdoors sunglasses. I think they're Peter Storm sunglasses. They were in the sale, and then I've got a go outdoors discount card, so I got extra off. But the sun's so bright in my face walking up here, I'm walking right into it, so I needed something to take the glare out of my eyes, just so I can see, so I'm not squinting the entire time. And they're working very well. They're polarised, so they work very well. £12 they cost, so not bad. They're not a fashion statement, you can probably tell. I don't think they're particularly fashionable. They probably don't look very good, but they're doing a job. One thing that isn't doing a job, and I feel like I'm feeling this more and more, and I need some boots really. These trainers, well, not trainers, sorry, they're hiking shoes from they're from Decathlon. They're like Couture, I think they're called like NH100s or something like that, but they were very cheap. They were $19.99 in my size as well. I'm a size 12.5 in hiking boots and shoes, so it's difficult to find a 12.5. Most places only do half sizes up to sort of 10.5, and then it just goes 11, 12, 13. And a 13's too big for me, but a 12 is too small. So yeah, it's difficult to find hiking shoes, but these have been very good. For the money, they've been excellent. They're really grippy, they're a perfect fit, so comfortable, but they do get wet, and my feet get wet inside. And these are waterproof, and I know that they're waterproof because I can walk through puddles in them and not get wet feet. So the shoes themselves are waterproof, but they are shoes. And I know I mentioned it a few videos ago in my video with the Summit Seekers, where I said, you know, the water's kind of run down into the shoes and like pulled up, and you probably saw me pouring the water out at the end of that video, which is pretty disgusting. Morning. But the problem with them is that walking through all that long grass in the field back there, it's very dewy this morning. You remember those spider webs I showed you at the beginning of the video? And all of that just kind of gets onto my socks and my trousers above the shoes, and then kind of runs down into the shoes and soaks the socks inside. So I do need a pair of good waterproof boots, but they need to be cheap, because I'm on a bit of a budget. So if anyone knows any good budget waterproof shoes for hiking, waterproof boots I should say, sorry, for hiking, then give me a shout. Drop it in the comments and let me know, because yeah, I desperately need some, and yeah, it would make a big difference to me, I think, because these are good, these are very good, but only when it's dry, and we are rapidly approaching the winter where it's not going to be dry very often, especially not on Dartmoor. So I do need some good boots. My old boots, the reason I wear these all the time and not boots, I did have a pair of hiking boots. They were Carrymore ones, I believe, but they got a big hole in them, and it was basically, it's where the sole joins the upper. And I think it's because of all the kind of flexing motion of my foot walking. I mean, I had them for about 3 years. They did me solidly. But yeah, that was probably, well, that was just before I started the channel, I think. That was probably around January, February time that they finally let go. And I said to myself then, oh, well, I'll be all right for the summer, but I'll need something new for the winter. And now the winter approaches, and it's only August, but it comes around quicker than you think. So yeah, any suggestions that you do have, pop them in the comments and let me know, and I'll check them out, and yeah, hopefully you can help me find a new pair that will do the job that I need them to do for a decent price as well. Well, the road has very much turned into something that isn't a road. I think this is a public bridleway that I'm walking along now. Can't remember what it was labelled as on the maps, but it certainly looks like a bridleway. It's definitely not a road, is it? There's no cars have been coming along here, not any time recently at least. You can see how dewy the grass is. See why my shoes are so wet, and why they're probably going to get even wetter walking along here. But for the first time since we were up on top of Brent Tor, you can see where I'm going. Up there, Gibbet Hill. And it's not too far away. This is about a 6-mile walk in total. I think it's 6.5 miles in total. It was 6 miles when I was leaving Brent Tor. So, and that's only, like I say, the car park is literally right at the bottom of Brent Tor. If you are in the area and you like the look of Brent Tor, even if you're not that keen on hiking, if you just like the views, and if you like a bit of history as well, because there's a lot of history of Brent Tor, and it's always unlocked as well, that you saw in the video or went inside. You know, you can go in and see the inside, you can leave a donation, but it's worth checking out, especially if you are into your history and if you're into your views. But if you're not that into hiking, yeah, don't worry, 5-minute walk from the car park, maybe not even that, nice and easy to get to, and well worth it as well, as you saw from the video. And trust me, my videos never do any of the views that I'm seeing justice. It is one of the most frustrating things about this YouTube channel. I love this channel and I love making videos for you guys, and I love getting out and doing these walks and seeing those views, but it is very frustrating that I can't. Oh, look at all the cows running towards me. I forgot what I was saying now. There's a stampede coming my way. Here they are. Come to say hi. You're a friendly bunch. See you later. Weird. Very mad at me for not jumping in there with them, I guess. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah, like it's yeah, it's one of the most frustrating things. As much as I love the channel, I love doing the walks, and I love bringing you all these incredible views, the cameras never do it justice, and that is frustrating, because yeah, it's just one of those things that's like, I'm seeing these incredible views, and as much as they do look good on camera, when I go back and I rewatch the videos, I'm editing the videos and stuff like that for you guys, but I can see it does look good on camera, but it doesn't look anywhere near as good as it does when you see it in person. And that's partly probably to do with my camera, or my cameras I should say. They're not exactly the newest kind of state-of-the-art cameras, just because, like I said, I'm on a budget, but they're still good cameras. They still capture in HD. You can get a lot better than them, obviously, but I can't get much better than them. So yeah, it's frustrating that it just doesn't come across on camera, and it does in real life. And I think that's everywhere. You know, I've watched, you know, documentaries and stuff on the BBC, and they go to places, and then when you go there afterwards, I think, oh, that looks beautiful, and you go there and it's on another level. So it's always worth, if you see somewhere that you like the look of online, whether it be one of my videos or someone else's videos, or even if it's like I say, like a BBC documentary, it's worth going there, because it will look better in real life than it will on the TV screen basically in front of you. So because I've walked into the shade, I've put the sunglasses on the sunglasses loop on my backpack, and it's in a bit of a weird position, because look at my, normally a sunglasses loop would be like down here or something, kind of easy access, you can just slot it on and off, but because it's there, I'm having to like reach right the way back to slot it on, and it's just a bit of a weird position for it. And it's not like I can adjust the backpack to have it kind of be further forward, not as far as I can see anyway, because then the pack wouldn't sit right, like it's sitting kind of properly snugly on my back like it is. So I don't know, it's a bit of a strange position for the sunglasses loop. So maybe if you know a little bit more about this backpack than me, maybe you can explain it. But yeah, I'm not too sure on it. Very muddy along here. We're right down at the bottom of the valley now, just starting to head up the other side, but that was a very muddy patch. But like I say, the shoes are waterproof as long as I'm walking through it, but it's if it's kind of long grass, that sort of thing, that's where they come up short, quite literally. Oh, we've got a little bridge now. I can hear a little stream running down there, I just can't really see it. There's a few people camping along there. Must be a campsite or something. Looks like a nice long flat strip for it. I'm not actually sure where I'm going to be going from here. I think I'll carve up to the right and start heading up. There's a road to cross, and then I think once I cross that road I'm on the side of Gibbet Hill. You might have heard it right at the end of that last clip. Just as I pressed to stop recording, my sunglasses fell off the strap on the bag. So I was right, it is a stupid place to have it. I don't know why it's so far back on the backpack, but I don't know. If you know, maybe you can let me know. But yeah, it just seems way too far back. So I think what I'll do, until I get back out in the sun at least, is just pop them through there. That'll do, won't it? Sorted. That's where the sunglasses loop needs to be. Right there, or kind of like the equivalent on the strap. Oh, it's a bit of a steep hill coming up here. I've been kind of steadily going downhill for quite a while. It's been quite a gradual descent, and I wasn't thinking, oh, I'm gonna have to go up pretty sharply on the other side to get up to the road, which was a lot higher up than I was there. And as I've started coming up this hill, it's just hit me just how steep the climb's gonna be. As usual, it doesn't look like much on camera, but trust me, it is. Whew. Still, soldier on, don't we? We're back out in the sun again now, and it is hot, very hot. It's supposed to get quite a bit hotter later on today, but like I said, it's still early in the morning. Here's the road, we'll cross over and we're heading up there to Gibbet Hill. If we look back, you can see where we've come from. That's the church of St Michael de Rupe up on Brent Tor. But it's a little way off in the distance now. We've made good time. I'm gonna get climbing, get up to the top of Gibbet Hill. I might stop and put some sun cream on actually in just a second, because it's gotten so hot now I'm back out in the sun. It's a lot hotter than the sun was back when I was just over there. A lot hotter. Makes a big difference. Making some progress up the side of Gibbet Hill now. A very majestic Dartmoor pony stood on the top there. Well, not on the top, but further up the hill than we are. That we're heading towards. Lots of sheep that we're heading towards as well. Oh, but it is a steep climb, and again, as usual, doesn't look it on camera. Looks like a gentle sloping hill on the camera, doesn't it? But yeah, when you're here, it's definitely not. But we're making good time actually, considering I spent so much time stood around on top of Brent Tor. Yeah, we're actually we're putting a good shift to get up here this quickly, and yeah, it's just all up from here really. Trying to find the best way up. It looks like it's over this way. Just looking for the easiest trail to the top, the clearest trail. And there's like a little cairn here. There's all these trails like this that kind of crisscross the side of Gibbet Hill, but there's very few of them that seem to be leading upwards. But I'm hoping this one does. It kind of looks like there's a trail going up there, and this would feel like a marker for a trail. This little cairn halfway up the hill. You normally see them on tops of hills, but yeah, I think up here is the way to go. There's a lot of very sleepy sheep here that I think I'm about to disturb, so sorry sheep, I have to make my way through. Not trying to scare you all off. Oh, they're fairly tame, these ones. Like normally they run as soon as you get within like 20 feet of them, but these ones are all right. Parting like the Red Sea. We must be getting close to the top now. The wind's starting to pick up quite a bit. Where you can see Brent Tor back there. We're about on the level with Brent Tor at the moment. Gibbet Hill's only slightly higher. We're getting there, slowly but surely. It's a lot bigger hill than it looked from back there when I was up at Brent Tor. But I think the views from the top are going to be stunning. There's still this kind of fine layer of mist over the tors on Dartmoor, some of the higher tors at least. And I think it's going to look beautiful when we get to the top. We've still got this sheen of dew on the way up here as well, on the grass. It almost looks like a frost. I promise you it isn't. It's boiling today. It was quite warm in the night as well. Obviously a lot cooler in the night, which is why there's so much dew on the grass, but it was a lot hotter than it would need to be for frost to form. And it's a good old trig point. We love a trig point on this channel, don't we? I was also right about the views. And it's all opened up all around us. But that is Gibbet Hill bagged. It's not a tour. Only tour today was Brent Tor. But it's still worth a bag. Look at this. But it is incredible up here. There's Brent Tor where we've come from. Brent Tor is the most westerly tor on Dartmoor, or in the Dartmoor National Park I should say. I forgot to mention that when we were over there, but yeah, Brent Tor is the most westerly tor, and all the others are off in this direction, out towards what I call Dartmoor proper. And yeah, these views are just stunning, as always on Dartmoor. Let's get the other camera out, see if I can show you a bit, even though there is still a bit of mist over there. There's Brent Tor where we were earlier. Looks a fair way away now, but it does look gorgeous in this light, doesn't it? You can see why it's one of the most recognisable silhouettes on Dartmoor as well. Church built right on top of a tor like that. You can see the Dartmoor ponies down here, out in full force this morning. Very misty up there still, but a few of the tors poking out of that mist. So there's the Tavy Cleave over there, and that's, I believe it's Sharp Tor right in the mist there, and I think the one in the foreground, I think that's Gare Tor, or Jer Tor it might be called. Not 100% sure how to pronounce it. Well, Gibbet Hill certainly has some beautiful views, but the meaning behind the name isn't quite so beautiful. And I know I said there was going to be quite a bit of history in this episode, and this is carrying it on from the church over at Brent Tor. Not quite so nice, the history of this place though. Gibbeting was used throughout quite a bit of British history to distinguish the death penalty, which was used for quite a few different crimes and quite a few smaller crimes, to be honest. Things like thievery and stuff like that, people could be put to death for. But gibbeting was reserved for people who committed the most heinous crimes. And what would happen is, if you'd murdered someone or committed treason, you'd be executed and then gibbeted. And what they used to do to gibbet someone was to hang their body in a metal cage or metal chains atop a hill usually, so that people could see it from miles around, and it would just be left there to decompose. And the way the metal cages were designed was that they were loose enough to rattle in the wind, and of course atop the hills, especially around this part of the country, especially in Dartmoor, it gets very windy. and anyone on the roads passing by would hear the jangling of the chains or the jangling of the metal cage, and it would attract their attention where they'd see the decomposing body inside the gibbet. And it's kind of acted as a warning not to commit crimes, don't murder, don't commit treason, or this will be your fate. And that was only from the 18th century that they used to gibbet people after they'd been executed. Before the 1700s they used to gibbet you alive. And I can't imagine a much worse way to go than that. You're up here on top of a hill, chained up in a cage, hung in a cage, metal cage that jangles constantly in the wind, and you're left to die from dehydration, malnutrition and just exposure to the elements. And all the time you're on show as a warning to everyone else not to commit the crimes that you did. Quite a sobering thought really, to think that at one point in history there would have been a gibbet on top of this hill, some big metal structure with a metal cage hanging from it, where people's bodies were left to decompose as a warning to other people not to commit crimes. And a lot of those people back then would have been falsely accused as well. It is a sobering thought, but it's always good to learn about history, always good to know these things. And I think it's very important to learn about history, because it's only by learning history that you can learn from the past, you learn from mistakes. And if you don't know history, if you kind of whitewash over the bad parts of history, then, you know, we can never learn from those mistakes, can we? Anyway, that's enough of me being philosophical. I'm about to start making my way back over to the car, which is all the way over there by Brent Tor, about 3 miles away. So probably about another hour's walking. You might not see too much more in the video because it's just covering the ground that we've already covered, but I'm sure something will happen. I'll start talking to the camera again. I'm going to get this all packed away. I'm going to start heading back. I'm just making my way down the side of Gibbet Hill now, heading back towards the car. That is one horny beast. I like the little kind of 90s boy band Westlife haircut that they've got going on as well though. They're all kind of sporting the same look. It's hot along here in this like narrow little channel with the sun beating down on me now. It's very hot, so much hotter than it was when I came along this way earlier on. I'm sweating. Not got too far to go to get back to the car though. Just had to dodge a butterfly. We've just got that field to go through. Well, we've got a little bit of road. This turns into an actual road in a minute, or a country lane at least. And then I've just got to get through that field that is a public bridle way as it turns out, but didn't look like a public bridle way when I was there. And then I'm pretty much back at the car. So yeah, not long to go now. Probably another mile and a half I'd say. I'm back in the field again, in the public bridle way, which doesn't look like a public bridle way. I've got the church behind me in the background. I think it's probably the best way to sign off, isn't it? Because after this it's just following the road up the hill to the car, so there's not much more to see really. I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's been a little bit different, a bit more of a history lesson than normal, but I always try to be as interesting, as informative as possible, and hopefully I've done that again today. Look how beautiful it looks now with the blue sky behind it. Almost unrecognisable from when we first saw it this morning in the mist. But yeah, I've loved today's walk. There's been a lot of bits on roads which aren't as interesting to film, which is why you've not seen as much of that, especially on the walk back. But I hope you've enjoyed the sights that you have seen. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I do lots of videos and it's all hiking and wild camping and things like that. Mostly in Dartmoor. Not all of it's in Dartmoor, but most of it's in the Dartmoor National Park. So if you're into your Dartmoor like I am, then yeah, drop me a follow. As always, I hope you enjoyed watching the video as much as I enjoyed making it, and I'll see you again soon for another adventure. Cheers.